coming online on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and also lovecityarts.org. Coming online on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Where else are we going live? I don't know. So glad to see you. Come in wherever you are. Looks like we're good on all 5 streams right now. I'm going out around the world. Good evening, everybody. I'm Andre in the Flow, and welcome to the Good Report. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. It is our 18th day together, according to my record. I got a bunch of text messages. Oh, these text messages are not good either. I'll have to do them. I'll have to respond to them after this is all over. Anyway, thank you so much for showing up for you. Thank you so much for showing up for each other. We gather here to hold space for gratitude, positivity, and light along the journey, recognizing that it's not always easy. Actually, sometimes it's downright hard. I wonder what's going on tonight. Is my stream coming through clearly for you guys, or is it kind of a little bit of a stuttery situation? I'm using a bit more CPU power than I usually do, and I'm wondering why. So, anyway, maybe you can hear me, maybe you can't. Give me a thumbs up if you can. I would love to know who you are and where you're watching from. Hopefully the feed will improve. I don't think Mercury's in retrograde, but it could be. It's not. It's really not. Let me get our caller on the line. See what happens here.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to meet you.
God. Yes, I'm so glad I could hear your voice.
I know. How have you been? Well, I mean, that's like a standard question you ask, but well, first of all, tell everybody who's watching, because you're now live. Fair warning, you're now live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, lovecityarts.org, all over the internet. So tell people, hey, Melissa, good to see you. Tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Rosa Vasquez. I'm the founder of an Instagram small little business I created called Collaborative Conscious.
Yes.
And I'm from New York City, residing in Queens, born and raised in the Bronx. Okay. And I'm an educator. So I do education as a profession, but personally, I'm a mom of 2 little ones, and just and I'm just like so happy to be here and just looking to just really connect with just people who believe in the same mission and vision of just collaborating with love and light, and just really believe in the universal consciousness, like a power.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell from everything that you do on the internet, like you believe that bringing everyone together is going to be one of the keys to help us actually heal.
Oh my God, yes, most definitely. I feel, especially now, everything going on, even though we are kind of social distanced in a way, that might be one of the key factors in the power to actually bring people together in like an unconscious way.
Yeah. How have you been adjusting to this sheltering in place business and all of that?
Just taking it, one day at a time, and very grateful for just being present and pausing. Like sometimes before all this happened, you worry about like everyday situations that really are out of your control, but you don't see it. And then boom, this hits, and it's like, okay, I needed this moment to be grounded and to pause and to just be present with myself and with my loved ones and those that I haven't spoken to for so long, or just, really respect my space.
Yeah.
So I've been really doing that.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the universe just kind of put the brakes on us and just said, you're going to slow down. You're going to slow down now, whether you want to or not.
Yes, it did.
So how have you been using that time, Rosa?
I know for me, like, I've been doing online learning on the weekdays. So my school, I've been teaching the students online, and then right after that, I take a little break, and then I teach my own two little ones. So it's been back-to-back teaching. So going from learning how to do online learning to taking a break and then teaching my little ones. They're only like 5 and 3, so it's more like hands-on and getting me active around the house, because sometimes you could just sit all day in front of a computer when you're doing the online learning. But once that's over, then I'm with the little ones, and they're moving me all over the place. So I get 2 types of learning with them. And then after that, like, just been, just really taking time for myself. Like, once the evening comes, this is like my moment to like just really be more present with myself and really put things into more perspective and open perspective, and just been really doing that a lot.
Yeah. Spending your mornings kind of go, and then using your evening times to just reflect and go within.
Yes,
Sounds
so
amazing.
true.
Would you mind if we shared a moment together? Earlier in the day, I asked on my Facebook page, I said something to the effect of, just tell me one thing you are grateful for today, and I'll speak your name, first name only, and share it with the small yet mighty community that's gathering at 8:30 tonight. So here we are.
Wow.
And so I just want to offer up some of the things that were offered on the gratitude wall today. Jamie says that her dad's ventilator was lowered to 40% today. Her dad's been in ICU in Wisconsin, and he was on full ventilator, and now they lowered it down, so now he's breathing a little more on his own. So, I mean, awesome light to that. Melissa says, it is a small thing, but I'm grateful for books to keep my mind occupied and off all of the crazy. Thank you, Melissa, for that. Mary says, I'm grateful to be able to have a job, work from home, and stay safe. Another Melissa says, I'm grateful for being able to breathe deep. She says, as I read that, I took a deep breath. She says, I have asthma, so every breath I take feels precious. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Michelle offers up gratitude for her family. Sandra says, I'm grateful for waking up this morning. She says, with everything I've been through these last few years, to be told I have cancer with no cure, to being told that my cancer was dead. Yes, every day is a blessing. Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. Abby says, I'm having this on my doorstep, and you all can't see this, but if you follow me on Facebook, then you can. But there's like this creek that's running right through the middle of, I guess, what would be Abby's backyard. She said she's grateful for having this on her doorstep. Isolated fresh air. Oh, they go on. Can I do a few more, Rosa?
Yes, I'm enjoying these very much.
Okay. Ash says, let me lower my music down a little bit because it's out of control. Ash says, I found a can of whipped cream I forgot we had in the back of the fridge. Says, listen, don't laugh. It's importantness. I found a can of whipped cream I forgot we had in the back of the fridge. That's so wild. Patricia says, I'm grateful for the circle of love and compassion you've built, and grateful to be included. Your post helped me take a wider view, and that's always a gift. Well, thanks, Patricia, for that. I feel like I'm just, a human being out here trying to survive this thing like everyone else. So it feels people were very kind, both about my gratitude work, which sounds strange to say because, Rosa, we all have gratitude work.
Yes.
But, part of my work of amplifying gratitude, but I feel like my life's mission is part of my life's mission is to amplify gratitude. I've had lots of people kind of give me gratitude back about the work that I'm doing today. And I'm not going to lie, it's felt really, really good given all of the circumstances. And I mean, how do you feel about this, Rosa? We'll take a pause in our wall of gratitude. Do you feel that this is kind of making you more of yourself in some ways, and then people are being able to appreciate the gifts that you bring with your collective?
Yeah, it's like, because what I've been doing since this all started, I do what's called school, family, community resource hubs, and I go into different school districts and like provide local and grassroots resources to family, schools, and communities. So after this all happened a couple of weeks ago, it really made me realize that to take this and go digital with it, share resources from everybody, from the local artists to the creative to those who are just sharing, like, here, this is where you could go and get food. And if you just need a place to just meditate, do it here virtually where you could do it. And being able to share those. And then when people say thank you for sharing, and one person messaged me saying that, I can't thank you enough for doing this. And as someone that receives, like you said, when you give gratitude, it's one thing, but then when you receive it back, it's almost like awkward in a way. It's sort of like, it's that space of like, oh man, like, don't know if it's worthiness or, it's one of those feelings of, you have to be open to it. Yeah. So I'm learning to be open to receiving gratitude as well, more than just giving it, giving it to other people and saying thank you to them. It's opening myself more. So that gave me a different perspective of like, how can I open up more to receiving the gratitude, to appreciating it myself?
Yeah. And feel your I am enoughness to allow you to have a container within yourself for love and abundance and for gratitude that when it's being poured on you. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna jump back into these moments of gratitude that people have posted that I let my phone like turn off, Rosa. So we're just gonna have to go and scroll down and find more gratitude. And there's nothing better than digging a well for gratitude. I think I read that comment already. Michelle says, my family, grateful for my family. Sandra Hayes says, I'm grateful for waking up this morning. I already did that one. And then we got to Abby. We found the whipped cream in the back of the fridge.
That's always good sometimes.
Okay. Patricia Redford.
When you have you're telling you, when you have a family and sometimes you're like, I know I had that. And you're thinking, did somebody eat it or did it just disappear in thin air? And when you do find it, you feel grateful. It's out of your mind. Like, okay, this is clear out of my head. I don't have to worry about it no more.
Right. You let it go and then it came back to you. Beth Henry Johnson says, I said I wasn't read last names. Oops. I am grateful that I'm celebrating one more year on this earth with my husband and beautiful girls. Pam, who's a regular of the vlog and podcast, says, I'm grateful for technology to keep us all connected during this difficult time. While I'm reading these off of the internet, people who are watching right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and also lovecityarts.org, please comment and let us know what you're grateful for. It's the only reason why we're here. We don't gather for, we have cool conversations like the one I'm having with Rosa right now, but it's a space of just focusing on what makes us feel more alive than in fear. I think my phone just... Okay, here we go. Pam says, I'm grateful for technology to keep us all connected during this difficult time. Marthea says, today I'm grateful for space. Excuse me. Today I'm grateful for space to think, to grieve, to dance, to write. I think being confined in a physical sense, thanks social distancing, has allowed me to take up and navigate my spaces differently. And I'm super grateful for those moments. Love to you, friend. Wow. Jana Kittle says, 2 kids napping at the same time for a long time. That's what she's grateful for. Lisa says, FaceTiming my son. I just asked, and then I asked below, how is he? And Lisa says, he's great, working from home, and it was so good to see his face. Christina says, the birds are singing and the sun is shining. That's what Christine is grateful for. Bev says, my immediate family members are safe and healthy. Anne, friend of the firm, Ann Zangi says, I still have a paycheck at this time. Jackie Seabaum says, I'm grateful to call Andre Stith my friend. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Very, very grateful for that. Jackie. And then Christopher says, my friend got better. I believe that he had an ailing friend who was not doing well. And so we are also glad that that friend is doing better. What's propping you up right now, Rosa? What's keeping you, what's floating your boat?
I think right now is just the ability that I think it's my kids, because they're so young, they don't even know what's going on right now. And they kind of bring that sense of presence more that I needed. And, the children are just so, they're so present and grounded and always laughing and playing, being crazy sometimes. Mm-hmm. It brings that sense of like, this is what we are universally, this is the kind of people we should kind of be, just free flowing and just loving and just smiling and, being able to see that from them. I think it's, being able to appreciate that more, not to feel the rush of things and I need to do this and, I have to, get this done sort of deadlines. There's no more deadlines, I feel, which is, I'm enjoying no New York City rush. I don't have to catch that bus or that train or be late for that job, so feeling kind of just, taking that all in, and also just sending a word of like encouragement to those who need it, making sure my family is okay, who's not near me or living with me, making sure they're all right, just checking in too. And that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking while you were speaking, while also paying attention to you, that, you've not lived until you've seen a New York Trader Joe's or Whole Foods in like right after work where people are just running like mad dash, like as if like this is the last, like these are the last ingredients for a meal that they're ever going to prepare in their lives. Like just running. And I stopped going in there during those peak times because that does not agree with my anxiety. But it's that running that we've all grown accustomed to. And I'm in day 18 now of the universe just allowing me to take a breath. And I'm with Marthea, who made that comment earlier, like, navigating this space from clarity. Actually, I've never, I wouldn't say never. It happens like at retreats and things like that, but it's been a long, long time since I just actually like sat still, and just, that be still and know that I am God type of stuff.
That's very powerful. So true.
Yeah. Be still and know that I am God. Like that type. I mean, if we weren't still, we wouldn't, according to that scripture and that, that biblical tradition and that faith path, you got to be still to know.
Yes, true.
And if you're so distracted and taking in all the stimulus, even still, we're in the house and sometimes we're super distracted in our mind sitting in the house. The TV starts going, we got the phone in one hand. If you're like me, you got two phones, so one's going in one hand, one's going in the other. All this technology around, blessings on blessings on blessings, and you still haven't gotten still enough to know that love is still in control. That the divine consciousness is still in control, that we are more similar than we are different, and that acknowledging that oneness in the stillness is also what's going to help us heal this. Because it's very apparent that beyond coronavirus, we've got lots of deeper healing work to do.
Oh, yeah, that is so true. I think with this virus, it really has opened up a lot of like things that we have held on to or maybe subconsciously didn't even know, like those fears that we didn't want to face or come face to face with. And it's scary, because not everyone is prepared for that. And, I do pray and send my thoughts out to those who are struggling in this moment,
yes,
who are having that difficulty to just sit still with their mind and, their thoughts. And this space that you have is just great and amazing for them just to be like, I'm having difficulty during this moment to just sit still with myself. Please send me great, gratitude and just space to heal, so I think that's important.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the only reason why I'm here. I'm just here. Like I feel like little Miss Duffet sitting on the tuffet every night at 8:30, and occasionally one or two friends or one or two strangers come. And for those of you who've not taken rest all day, I want to extend to you right now an opportunity to take rest. Just take rest. Give yourself permission. I'm gonna read the rest of these things on the gratitude wall, but take time to take the biggest breath that you've taken all day. In fact, Rosa and I will do it with you. We will do it with you. All right, just put your feet as firmly planted on the floor. If you're in the bed watching, if you've paused, the sixth episode of Tiger King. That's cool too. just settle. Joe is crazy. Settle yourself into where you are, and then just allow yourself to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Biggest breath of the day. Biggest breath. Biggest breath. Take one more sip. And breathe out. I mean, that's all we want.
That was good.
Because
sometimes it's what we need.
It's just what we need. It's so fundamental, and yet we forget. Wow. Did I get to the bottom of these comments? I did. I got to the bottom of the comments. What would be, and you can tell me actually when to stop shuffling these cards that I'm about to start shuffling, but when did you know that you were meant to be a community worker and connect people in the ways that you do?
I think for me, it just started when I was working in the school system. I was working first for a community organization called Children's Aid Society of New York, and I had many different positions there, and just seeing their mission and what they did of, not only connecting to the students, but to the communities and families, and just building, I still call the people who I worked with there, many years ago, they're still my second family. And they took that mindset and that space of we're all family here. And, every job I had after that, it was those are one of the deep things that I always wanted to look for. So when I went into, juvenile justice system as an intern, and then even when I went into education and myself, I always wanted to see if there was a way to find that connection between families and communities with the school, as always was something important to me personally. So knowing that when I was in each of these, especially in the school system, there's a big barrier and disconnect between schools, families, and communities. And there was always a way that I would work with my small group of cohort of students and found a way to reach out to their family and connect with them in many ways, and just lend them an ear to what they were struggling with on a daily basis with them, themselves, or even in community, find ways to reach out to community and offer resources. And I realized so much of that was I couldn't do it as in the classroom. It was sort of as a teacher, they want us, especially Department of Education, you got to juggle so many hats, and it's to do that community work and that deep work with students and families, it's almost really difficult, next to impossible, when you got the responsibilities of what the school system expects of you as a teacher, And so from there, I decided, this is something that kept calling out to me. I would, it's funny, I would have almost epiphany moments or dreams about this, that I would be sleeping and I'll wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and just have this dream or vision of this idea of collaborating people together, of breaking those barriers, and people just being in a room together, just creating these ideas, reshaping the communities they live in, even on a local level.
What do you think people's biggest barriers are to creating the communities that could actually raise them up?
I always feel it always depends on the different communities, environments they live in. I know for me, just being born and raised in New York City, it was real of just a loss of like just that family connection, like loss of trusting your community, that whole it takes a village mentality, and with the digital age and, with the whole age of like, like we had like in the 80s and 90s, the kids missing and the drugs,
Right.
it left a fear in our environments. And it was like, how do we come back from that? How do we get out of those fears that was on the media and society, and like our parents feared? They didn't want us to go out there, don't go to that corner and be careful with this person.
Right.
How do we, now that we're adults, how do we make those connections again to, because other states, I'm sure, is different. They still have their communities, but New York City wise, it was just very, the government, the state was sort of, the school system was kind of responsible for you in that sense. So it's like, how do we teach our community, like, okay, it's time to like come together in a different conscious level,
Right.
not a level that society kind of tells us that this is how it should be to be safe, like, or to avoid the fear.
Right. And that applies today more than it did, a couple weeks ago. Like, how do we continue to confront our fear, like, head on? Mm-hmm. Like, not be afraid. We talked, oh man, maybe it's been a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's all one big day now. But we talked about inviting in insecurity and inviting in fear and inviting in the unknown, and personifying them and saying, I see you, fear. I recognize the lesson that I understand that you're trying to protect me, but the things that I want to experience and the joy I want to experience in my life happens in beloved community. And so, confronting the fear and telling the fear, like, listen, I understand you're trying to protect me, but I've assessed the situation and I'm safe, and I don't need you blocking me or distracting me from my truest identity or my truest calling.
Right. Yeah, that's so important. It definitely, it takes a lot of work, like it takes so much internal work that we've, have either hidden or like, like it's just generational trauma, they call it, or like, our parents at the time were only trying their best, and just being understanding of that. Like, like lately I've just been rereading the, 4 affirmations, and, it just, at this moment, it was so important for me to like really just see and read that, understand each of those, especially now.
You say the 4 affirmations, four agreements.
4 agreements, right?
Yes,
the 4 agreements, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Reading that again and just believing each of those steps, especially now, And,
okay. So the 4 of them: always do your best, be impeccable with your word, take nothing personally.
Yes.
And what's the 4th one?
Don't make assumptions, I believe.
Don't make assumptions. That's
right.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, and just holding those things close to our heart, even in a time like this, it matters.
It definitely does. And, just read, sometimes you have to just pick up a book and reread it again, because I haven't read that in so many years, and I was a different person 5 years ago. And then I said, let me read it now and how I'm feeling now. And like, wow, like it really shows how much growth you've done, or maybe like, oh wait, I haven't done this yet. Just seeing where you are, sometimes in those.
It's like, it's an amazing mirror. Wow. Would you help me pick out a card tonight?
Oh, okay. You want me to say stop?
Yeah. Just I'm gonna start shuffling now, and we're gonna pick a Mark Nepo inspiration card. We've been pulling one every night for the last 18 days. I've shown up every night at 8:30. This is not like a shameless plug or anything like that. It's just that like literally we've been here every night at 8:30. I'm so grateful for those of you who return to the shenanigans. Some nights it's like a full turn up, and then other nights it's like really like deep, or whatever that means. Tell me when to stop. And then. Other nights we just...
You stop.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, this card is the one that we needed to get. Wow. Okay, tonight's card is from the Mark Nepo Book of Awakening card deck. It's the only deck I have in my house. I don't have any tarot or anything like that because I wouldn't even know what to do I don't know a cups and pentacles from a pentacles and cups. But I do respect those traditions, all healing traditions and all traditions that are infused with love. My religion is love, period. Because sometimes, no, let's not get into that. Anyway, today's card is the clearest spiritual intent. The clearest spiritual intent is tonight's card. All right, so this card says, this is at once... let me try again. I think that I'm going to start over, Rosa. Is that okay?
Okay, that's cool. No problem.
This is at once. I can't get that word out tonight. At once. I keep adding a T to it. This is at once the clearest spiritual intent and yet the hardest to stay true to. How to stay open to what others feel and not to what they think. We cannot live without being affected by others, but we are only real when we let truth and love shape us from within. That's wild.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Good. That definitely sent me goosebumps. That's good.
I know. Well, I mean, it's like what we've been talking about. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. Like, Daniel steps into the room, and then all of a sudden, where 2 or 3 are gathered, here we are. Melissa, if you're still watching, we love you too. And we've been weaving in and out of these themes. And tonight's card is the clearest spiritual intent. This is at once the clearest spiritual intent and yet the hardest to stay true to. How to stay open to what others feel and not to what they think. We cannot live without being affected by others, but we are only real when we let truth and love shape us from within. And I love that card tonight. Sometimes they don't make any sense at all, Rosa, but I love that because there's nothing that we need more right now than to let, love and truth shape us from within. So Daniel's asking the question, how are we shaping love from within? Or how are we letting truth and love shape us from within? You know, the truth is that I am not in control of anything, Daniel and company. I don't even control my breathing. Like when I go to sleep and I just zone out, because trust me, I'm far away from here by the time I get to sleep. Because I'm an insomniac, and so sometimes it's like 3 days later and then I'm sleeping. And so when I do finally go to sleep, I am not in control. I'm just sleep. And that's a technical term, by the way. Sleep. Not when you're just sleeping, but just sleep. And when I'm in that space, my breathing happens. It just happens. The same way that with a little water and sun, the grass just grows. I keep saying these same metaphors and themes over and over again because when I let truth and love shape me from within, I recognize the truth that I can just release control to something that's greater than myself and recognize that no matter what the outcome, it's going to be well with my soul. And that's just something, Rosa, that I just decide moment by moment. You know, in this moment. Now look, y'all should see my bug out bag. And if you don't know what a bug out bag is, Google it later. But you should see my bug out bag. I've got all the essential things if I needed to make a run for the border. You know? But I hold those rations and, you know, to a 30-mile radio. I hold all of those things in my prepared hand. That's a bit of a self-soothing thing I'm doing, Rosa, if I'm really honest about it. But then I also hold the truth and the love that I've never, ever been forsaken so far. If I've never been forsaken so far by Father, Mother, God, Father, Mother, Universe, if I've never been forsaken yet, why would the divine consciousness and why would divine goodness, call it God, call it Shamalama Ding Dong, call it spirit, call it whatever you want to call it, why would that leave me now? that has been sustaining me for the last 30. And I'm sorry, I do this every night. I hit a left-hand turn, someone hits the organ in the Baptist church of my childhood, and I start doing this. But I can't help myself, Rosa. Like, why would the divine stop taking care of me now?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's one of those things that just, it hits you when you least expect it, and you know it's so powerful. It's like you don't expect it to come at that moment, and then you know you have so many questions, unknown questions, and it's like going back to what you said with the control. Like we can't control what's around us. You know, it's just really kind of pausing for that passion we have for ourselves, for that love that we have within.
Yes. And when we can get still enough, the truth and the love reveals itself to us. What's shaping you from within? Like, what truth and love is shaping you from within, Rosa?
I think for me, it's more of being honest with myself. You know, kind of lately I've been working on this more and more, like just kind of unmasking the mask that I put on for society, you know, how society said I should have lived and how I should have, you know, been successful, or how I should have dealt with relationships and love, and just, you know, take that off and really just express it the truthful and loving way that I know that's right for me, you know, because what's right for one person is different for another person, you know, and it's like, I know for me, just knowing that, did I want to go to college right away? Like, no, like, but I did it out of fear, you know, just fear of society saying like, you have to go here or else you won't have this, and that stability and, you know, that financial stability. Yeah. So it's like, for me, it was like, I think it's time for me, especially I have my own children. It's like, I need them to see me in my true face, you know, with the flaws and everything, and them to know I'm not perfect, you know, take off that perfect mask that we put on society, know, and just live it. You know? Yeah. So that's shaping me, like, to just really believe in that. And, you know, it's not easy work, you know, it takes time and support and really just patience, you know, understanding and love for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And awareness who your spiritual brothers and sisters are that can support you in your truth, right?
Yes.
That can say, yes, ashe to everything you just said, Rosa, and like, I support you in that, and I'm lifting you up in that. And I love the example that you're being for your kids, because the more authentic you can be in the presence of your children, the more that you will create habits in them for their authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a gift to have awakened to that before it was too late. You know, some people are waking up to the ways in which they parented their kids, good, bad, and different. They're waking up like 20 years later and being like, ooh, you know, that was weird. You know, I didn't know better, but that was, you know, like you were saying earlier, like forgiving our parents for the things they didn't understand. So good for you in waking up right now in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think even now, especially more with this whole social distancing and people having to, you know, be at home, it's gonna be a very collective conscious kind of awakening. And, you know, like I said, just hoping to just hold space for those people in my thoughts, and with your space too, to just have them go through it, you know, go through the growing pains, as they call it.
Yeah, you're safe here. We got your back. Speaking of which, let's do that now. Let's hold space for, and for those of you who are not familiar with the term holding space, I forgot where did I put that definition? It's somewhere. I'll bring it back tomorrow. Why am I looking for a definition when I can just tell you what it is? What does holding space mean for you first, Rosa, and then I'll say what it means for me.
I know for me, it's just allowing someone just to be their true self, or just if they have to vent. If you have to like cry, or you have to just show cheer, and just giving them that freedom and opportunity to be transparent.
Yes. And I love that definition. And additionally, I'm going to say another definition of holding space, in addition to allowing people to be in your presence and be authentically themselves, is to hold a container for this is a Buddhist concept that I'm going to just step in and horribly explain. But allowing people from all walks and paths, various states of suffering, in order to take space in your heart for a moment. That's what holding space also is for me. And so what I do as part of my practice is call into my heart those who I believe, and it changes. This is all relative. It'll be different for every person that's watching right now. But I hold those who I feel to be most vulnerable in my heart, and I hold space for their freedom from suffering. And so I'm calling in right now all of the emergency workers, all of the hospital workers, all the first responders, and then all of our local, state, federal leadership, all of the people that are in charge of federal departments and local government departments. I hold space for them. May they be divinely guided. May they be divinely protected. May the emergency workers and responders be healthy. May their immune systems rise to meet them. May they have clarity of mind to not put themselves in danger. May we as a society hold space for clarity of mind so that we can start pushing for laws that better represent the needs of the people. I hold space for that. Less fear and more love, which is something I say every night, Rosa. Less fear, more love. I hold space right now. I'm building a container to hold space for less fear and more love. And maybe people who are watching right now and who will listen to this back in replays, maybe you've had just a lot of fear pressing in on you. I know before I can't even talk about the email I got before I came on here. Y'all figure out eventually, but I got an email that's a little alarming. So you know where this is going in these times. And even now, how do I hold space for the world and for myself? How do I hold space for less fear and more love? How do I hold space for that it's going to be all right feeling? Without really knowing that it's going to be all right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do I just keep that candle burning? So we hold space for hope. Because there's someone right now that feels like they're at the end of their rope. And I'm holding space for the divine presence of love to reach into their situation and tie a knot at the end of their rope. That's what I'm holding space for right now. That the person that feels like they're at the end of their rope, because we've been in this thing for 18 days, some of us. For the person that feels at the end of their rope, may divine love come in right now and tie a knot at the end of it so they will have something to hold on to. Right now. And so wherever you are listening to the sound of my voice and Rosa's voice, I just want to offer you unconditional love in this moment. And it's easy for me to do, right? Because I don't know each and every one of you. And so it's really easy for me to just find you lovable. It's very easy for me to just find you worthy. It's very easy for me to just say you are enough because I don't know anything about you, but I know what I do know about you without even meeting all of you is that the divine presence of love, that calm sensation that washes over you in the still moments, that peace finds you lovable. That peace finds you worthy. That peace says you are enough. Whatever that means for you. Some of you will call it God. Some of you will call it divine consciousness. Some of you will call it love. Some of you will get completely turned off by this whole conversation, but you know what a good feeling feels like. That good that you feel, that part of you is speaking that it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are you holding space for, Rosa?
I think for me, just all that you said was simply amazing. Holding space for everything you just said right there. Oh my God, it was so powerful, so great. And I think for me personally, is really just holding space for, my loved ones, those who are struggling through this time. And like you said, those who don't know how to deal with, like, not knowing what the future could bring. Because some people need to know, like, what tomorrow is going to bring. And it's giving them that patience and that presence to just be still and really just accept what's happening one day at a time. No, like you said, everything's going to be all right. Just keep believing the affirmation in yourself, telling yourself that, and just, find a way to be in a collective conscious with yourself, maybe your inner self.
Yeah.
Call that person, somebody that maybe you haven't spoken to for so long. This is time to just really be yourself and talk to them, and even talk to yourself. If you haven't told yourself you love yourself, say it.
Yeah.
If that's something if you're really, really just have to, like you said, be impeccable. Like they say, be impeccable with your words, and
be super, impeccability and mindfulness of the word. Like, and if you, I'm not going to prescribe that anyone should leave their homes for sure and go or order in from Amazon dry erase markers. But I keep dry erase markers and dry erase boards around the house and, mirrors and things. And, part of my spiritual practice is having the word love all around me all day. It just changes things. So for those of you who have been feeling a little, I'll just say it in a sound. For those of you who've been feeling, because sometimes you don't need words. Sometimes you literally feel like. For those of you who are feeling that way, find a scrap piece of paper in your house, or if you've got better, find better. If you have a dry erase board, if you have a mirror, if you have dry erase markers, whatever tools you have, in the next 24 hours, put the word love somewhere up in your house. And if you can, what I've done on my mirrors, I've literally written the words, I am enough. And the reason why this is going to be helpful, because you're like, where the fuck is this woo-woo dude going? Daniel says, I so just needed all of that blessing. And then Daniel says, yes, me too. I have dry erase markers. Okay, so on your mirrors, write the words, you are enough. And if you see that enough throughout your day as you're moving, it will change the way that you interact with the world. Now you're going to be like, well, what does this mean? Because I'm not leaving the house or going anywhere, and the only places that I would have needed to be enough would be outside. No. Feeling like you're enough affects your self-esteem. It affects your outlook on the world and what you feel that you're able to accomplish. Feeling like you're enough can change this situation can change from, oh my God, I'm never going to make it out of this, to, oh my goodness, because I am enough, there's a gift within me and I'm capable of just walking through this. And even if I don't have any income right now, or I'm coming to the end of my income, there's a gift within, because I am enough. And because I have gifts, I'm going to emerge from this. And I'll be able to make a resource, and I'll be able to provide for myself, and I'll be able to hold stillness in myself because I am enough to keep going forward. And so anyway, that's why love is plastered all over my room on the dry erase markers and on the calendar and over there in the office space. And then why you are enough is on my mirrors, because if I can just get those little gentle reminders throughout the day, I show up into my conference calls differently. Feeling like I'm enough makes me show up into my group chats on Instagram differently. Because I've got an Instagram, I'm a group chatter guy, so there are group chats that go 24/7 in my life, which may make sense about the reason why I'm crazy like I am. But I've got a friend group that I love dearly. They're part of Supper Club. They all come over to the house. We eat together. We drink together. We have fun together, and we're all part of a group chat. And I show up to that group chat differently when I believe that I'm enough. I don't have to go all the way up to the last read message and then love that one and love that one and then love that one. You know what I'm talking about, Rosa? Like I love because if I don't love this person's message to me, they won't know that I love them or that I care about them, and perhaps they may think that I'm mad at them, which happens. I've actually gone days without responding to someone immediately or not loving everything they said, and they were like, Are we okay? Are you mad with me? No, I'm not mad with you. Like, I didn't have a love button in my fucking life before Instagram came along.
That's so true.
I literally and this is how I operate in real life, which is probably the reason why I don't have a second husband. Literally, I listened to you and I nodded, or I listened to you and I heard you and I responded. I'm not going back and loving and affirming all of that stuff. Like, that's an inside job.
I think it's a new age thing. I was talking to my sister about that because I don't have iPhone, so she was talking to me about, there's a term they say, like, oh, they left me on red, like READ, and I'm like, what's that mean? What are you talking about, red?
Child, it is a tool of manipulation used by mostly younger people, but some older people employ this bullshit too, where literally you can get at somebody by reading their message. They see that you read it because it turns from delivered to read in the iMessages. Same thing happens over on Instagram, on WhatsApp, and on Facebook. I know because people watch read receipts and delivered this and that. If you are living your entire life, and I'm sorry if this is gonna hurt. But if you're living your entire life according to read receipts, delivered, and love messages and double taps on messages, if that is what's going on for you, I hope that returning to this well every night would bring a calm to you and an understanding that you are enough. Whether they double like your shit or not. Do you like your shit or not? And if you can come to an understanding that you are enough and that you can freely. I love Jennifer Lewis. Do you know that Jennifer Lewis from Off of Blackish? And she said, she stood up in front of an audience full of people and she said, I'm a talented motherfucker. And I know it. And we don't even give ourselves permission to say that much. Let me tell you something. A talented motherfucker that believed that they were enough would not be stressing about likes, messages, and being left on red. A talented motherfucker, and let's just take the talent out the way because people get hung up on talent, even though I believe everyone's talented and has a gift in their own special way. I really do believe that. I believe that even 45 in the White House has a gift. He has a gift. He has a gift of calling attention to himself, which is the reason why we watch the press conferences and we've endured all of this as long as we have, because he has a gift of being able to stir up emotions in people. If you've not been stirred up by 45, also known as the occupant of the White House, also known as what does she call him? One of my friends calls him Marmalade Mussolini. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about Trump. And he has a gift. I think his gifts are ill-applied. I think he uses his gifts, or maybe he may not be that bright. So somehow his gifts come out in ways that aren't healthy. But we still are captivated in watching it, even when we don't want to, because he has a gift of magnetizing attention to himself. I just lost one viewer because I started talking shit about Trump. I love it. Anyway, moving right along, when we move our life out of likes and loves and followers and viewers and come into our I am enoughness, all of that BS begins to just fall to the wayside. Yeah, because we're more than likes and loves and followers. And Rosa, I got to say to you, in the assembly of witnesses, awesome witnesses over on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and lovecityarts.org, I got to say to all of you that the thing that's freed me the most about this experience, because remember, Rosa, you follow my social, so I was doing like the top of the year, like every day, video series, and then it wasn't speaking to me anymore, and I just stopped doing it. I don't know if I got lazy, smoked too much weed. I don't know what the hell happened, but like I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I was laying here in bed, like as we were moving into sheltering in place, and something said to me, just go online and just hold space for anybody who wants it or needs it. And I was like, but I've done this before and I didn't get any likes.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. Like I literally was like, no, but I just did that video series at the top of the year, and people were kind of like, or they seem to be, or that phenomenon when you get like, 200 views, but like 2 likes. And you're like, what did I do wrong? All in this matrix of delusion that was created by Facebook and Instagram that we didn't even buy into years ago. Watch, they shut my shit down. And if they shut my shit down, I'll still be streaming over on lovecityarts.org, and I pay for that. But these...
No, it's so true. I mean, it's like really just knowing what's really important, like it's beyond the superficial, buttons, like you said, and the views. It's bringing that aura, that attention, that presence to people, that message, like your gift is this, your gift is this holding space and sharing. When you have that passion, it's it will reach the people that it needs to reach, and the people that want it, they will
not pressed.
Take it.
Not pressed, literally. And I said, what about the likes? What about the likes? And I talked to God like I talked to my best friend, and I said, what about people weren't really liking it the last time? And Spirit, I don't want to get woo-woo because people don't like that. Like, some people get really weirded out about God told me. It wasn't like a God told me type of thing. It was like a, also, let's be clear. Also, God also speaks through the things that we love to do. I love getting on here every night and pushing all these keys and geeking out and delivering messages of light, and like I like this. So it's not like I didn't like it, but I was allowing myself to not like it because I was attached to the likes and the attention of it. And Spirit told me, go like Little Miss Muffet and sit on your tuffet and eat your curds and whey. Just go and sit there, and if one person comes through and you're able to say your love to them, then say it. And if more come, then say your love to them and continue on. And that is your work of the day. Because for some of us, our work is not to reach thousands and millions of people. Some of our work is just to give a hug when we can to the stranger who looks sad, with permission. None of that bullshit in here. But no Harveys, none of that. Hey, you look like you've been having a rough day. Like, do you need a hug? And you'd be surprised how many people actually need hugs. I won't put her on blast. So there was a colleague of mine that we used to love each other's hugs. It was very apparent. Even when we would see each other, every time we see each other, we'd give each other a good old Southern Baptist hug. It was very clear. Clearly, I'm a homosexual, so I didn't want her in that way, which sounds really aggressive for me to say. I apologize. I don't want her in that way. Like that was a little aggressive. I'm sorry. Lovely human being. Like, she's a beautiful woman. All jokes aside, but it was very apparent that when we were hugging each other, it was like, wow. I needed this and you needed this. Thank you for holding space for me. And thank you for actually holding me. And some of our ministries are not 1.5 million follower ministries. And by ministries, I mean missions, if you will, life's work, if you will, whatever your language that you're most comfortable with. Some of our paths are not to 1.5 million people. Some of our path is to, I wouldn't say 1.5 person because that's weird, but like some of our ministries are to 5, and just making sure that those 5 people I can't think of anyone who does this work, yourself included, Rosa, that does not have a consistent 5 people that are either following them or vibing with their message and calling back. I mean, that's the reason why we're here. I would say out into the universe, love, 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 love. And you were like, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. You know, like, we just kept like echoing and like being the love sonar with each other. I mean, we all have those people. Everyone under the sound of my voice, both now and in replays, you have your yes committee. You know, those people in your life that like, no, you could literally fart in an elevator and they would be like, yes, man, that's a good fart. You know, like, I know that sounds graphic and weird. I'm going to lose all of my four viewers on Facebook for sure for that. But like, you know, we all have that person in our lives that affirms us. Maybe that is your calling. I lost a follower. I told you. Maybe that's your calling, though. Maybe your calling is to that one person to just say, hey, I've been thinking about you. You know, maybe your legacy is that when you cross over, and we're dealing with our mortality a lot right now. We're dealing with those feelings like this could be up for me in a minute, right? And for those of you who aren't in New York, a minute is literally like tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you know? Like, if we don't have that long to go, and I'm not trying to be fatalistic or weird, but if we don't have much longer to live, then essentially, because I don't have 1.5 million followers, and this is what's coming up for me right now in this time, because I don't have 1.5 million followers, and that sounds stressful any fucking way, because everybody got an opinion these days on the internet. Because I don't have that in the moment, and because I could be gone by Friday, then the people that I'm supposed to be loving on are the 3 of you watching on Facebook right now and Rosa on this phone. And because I'm enough, and because that is enough, it's well. We are the ones that cause all of the noise and confusion and suffering. Like you are why I'm here today. You are why I'm here today. So anyway, we've hit the hour mark. I always give our guests the final word before closing out. If there was anything that you would want the listeners and viewers to know today and in the subsequent days that they'll listen, what would you want to share with them, Rosa?
Just knowing that we don't know what tomorrow brings and yesterday passed. So just pause for passion. Like if you felt like if you're a creative or you're just someone that's always on the go, just appreciate that pause, you know, pause for passion, just pause for presence. You know, you never know what will come up that you probably put to the side or you never knew. Like really just appreciate what's in front of you, you know, even in the mirror yourself, you know, appreciate those moments. And just take everything one day at a time. You know, this shall pass and we're all in this together, you know, and that if, you know, like thank God for Andre with Love City Arts in this space. And, you know, even if it's okay if you need a moment to yourself, if you need someone to talk to, you know, take that time to really just be your authentic self and know yourself at this time.
So good. So good. Thank you, Rosa of Collaborative Conscious, for being here.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be in this space of just love and appreciation and gratitude. I'm so happy to be able to sit in on this call and just feel it, you know, like I think I feel this good vibe and hopefully keep it going for the next few days till we are all like in the sunlight and hugging each other for real.
Yes. Wow. Thanks everyone who watched tonight. Daniel Williams said, "It is well. It is well." It really is. It really is. I'm going to continue showing up for all of you. I know in my heart, and this is not about you viewing and coming back to view. I know that in your kitchen, you know, while you're washing your dishes, Daniel just said, "This definitely is saving my spirit." Which is like a huge, like, don't make me weep.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I receive that. You are saving my spirit as well. You are saving my spirit as well. You have no clue. You have no clue. beyond the fact that I'm telling you. But as you are, at your dishes, just think about the people that you've shared space with today, known and unknown, and just say, I'm sending you love. And we will keep holding that space of love until we meet again, 8:30 every night until this is over. I'll probably go to like once a week, like Good Report powwows once this is over and we're back out. And those who want to pop in can pop in. But in the meantime, because this is mission critical, I think that it's like all lovers of light and love, man your battle stations, woman your battle stations, gender non-conform your battle station. Like everybody that believes in love and positivity, on your mark. It's time to do our assignment. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight, Rosa. Thank you everyone for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern on the Good Report by Love City Arts. Have a good night. I'm loving you.